I got an idea. Now, there's been a lot of new information coming out on the Gen Zs. And for those that don't know who the Gen Zs are, the Gen Zs is the generation that's following the millennials. And they were born anywhere between 1995 and 2010. So in other words, the Gen Zs are our future. If you've been following this channel for a while, then you know I like to talk about a lot of the controversial issues. So I like to talk about religion and politics and things that are going on in our culture that's creating social tension. What's interesting about Gen Zs is that when it comes to religion, they're unlike any other generation before them. Recent studies and surveys have shown that about 34% of Gen Zs identify as atheists, agnostic, or nones. And by nones, they mean that they don't identify with any particular religion. So like with the boomers, they were about 5% atheists, and then you have the Generation X, which is about 6% atheists. The millennials were about 7% atheists. And when it comes to the Gen Z, they're already at about 13% atheists. When I first came across these statistics, I asked myself, where are they getting their information? Where is this influence coming from when it comes to how they view religion? So I spent some time looking at some studies and surveys, and what I found is that the Gen Z generation doesn't watch very much TV, if at all. They'd much rather spend their time on social media, for example. What I found even more interesting was the platforms of social media that they spent the most time on. What the studies and surveys found was that 52% of them use Twitter, 67% use Facebook and Snapchat, and 69% use Instagram, and 95% use YouTube. This means that nearly all of the Gen Z generation uses YouTube. In fact, they found that 70% of them use YouTube for 2 hours or more per day. And when asked what social media platform they can't live without, 6% said they can't live without Twitter, 9% said they can't live without Facebook, 9% said they can't live without Instagram, 15% said they can't live without Snapchat, and the #1 social media platform that they said they can't live without, coming up in first place, is YouTube, with 50% that said they cannot live without YouTube. And we shouldn't be surprised that they don't like text-based online content as much, such as blogs. Instead, they're 6 times more likely to prefer watching videos over reading text-based online content. So what does all of this mean? What this means is that they're very likely to go to YouTube when they want to be entertained and when they have questions. And when you really think about it, a lot of the older generations also go to YouTube when they have questions. But because the Gen Zs don't like text-based content, instead they're seeking their questions not from blogs or not from these other sources, but instead they're seeking their information from YouTube. So for better or worse, YouTube is the most likely place where they're going to go to get their questions answered when it comes to things like religion and Christianity. Now, the downside to this is that YouTube and other social media platforms are largely anti-Christian. Because of this, most of the searches related to Christianity and religion are going to pull up videos that are probably heavily anti-Christian.
Good news, everyone! Atheists own the internet! We've won! If you don't believe me, just go check out any major social media news website. Go check out reddit.com or dig.com or stumbleupon.com or hell, any of them, it doesn't matter. And you'll see for yourself that the religious are fodder for our amusement.
I personally don't find it a coincidence that atheists have a larger presence online, and the Gen Z generation, who spends the most time online, also has the highest population of atheists compared to any other generation. This is probably one of the reasons why atheism isn't increasing amongst every other generation besides the Gen Zs. The good and the bad news is that these surveys showed that teens trust these YouTube stars. In fact, they trust YouTube stars as much as, and sometimes even more than they trust mainstream celebrities like actors, singers, music artists, reality TV stars, and so on. Not only that, but 62% of them said that it's okay for the YouTube stars to talk about their political views. This means that those of us that are YouTube creators have a unique opportunity right now, unlike any other time in history. We have the ability to influence our society and our future generations when it comes to controversial topics like politics and religion. The only question now is who's going to reach them first, us or them?
Good news, everyone!
With that being said, I strongly believe that one way that we can help save our future generations from being persuaded by the wrong influences and given false information about religion and Christianity is to come together and support those who have the ability to make a difference in people's lives through YouTube. Now, I've come to realize that we all have different gifts that are optimal in different situations. Although some Christians are extremely smart and brilliant and are gifted at reaching people through academia or in lecture settings, The gifts aren't always optimal when it comes to reaching people on YouTube because it's a completely different environment. Because of this, it's absolutely crucial that we support the few who truly understand the battle and also have a gift for reaching people through YouTube. If you believe that I'm one of them, then you can join me as I do my best to make a lasting change in our culture. You can do so by going to the link in the description. And if you do, or if you're already supporting me, then go ahead and leave a comment below so that way I can personally thank you for taking this journey with me. And if you don't believe I can, then please don't worry about supporting me. Go support the people that you think can make a difference through YouTube. So let's all come together and use whatever God has blessed us with to help save our future generations. Oh, and one more thing. What do you mean?